Welcome to DIY Prop Shop. I'm Dylan Thomas, and I aim to misbehave. So today we'll be working on Mal's gun from the show Firefly. I really love that his revolver mixes Old West and sci-fi with like the small details for the sci-fi and this bronze coloring that really reminds us of the Old West. I'm gonna try to highlight all of these in my final build. Malcolm's revolver has a ton of sharp edges and flat surfaces, so I'm thinking balsa wood will be the best option for that. If you've never used it, it's this super awesome craft wood that's soft and easy to cut. All you need is an X-Acto blade, and it'll make your life way easier. And then we're gonna need a base to put all those balsa wood embellishments on. I'm thinking of using wood. You could get a plastic revolver and glue onto it, but I have a fear of breaking it, so I'm thinking I'm gonna stick with wood where I know I can drill and hammer into it and it'll be nice and sturdy. Then I'll just add some embellishments from various pieces from the hardware store and potentially some bristle paper. So we're ready for our balsa wood now. I just cut out some quick stencils. We'll trace them on and get them cut out with the X-Acto, and you'll see how super easy it is to cut this wood. So don't worry too much about any sort of imperfection or splinters. It's really easily sanded away or trimmed away once we start getting to that finished product. Alright, so I'm going to be making the trigger guard out of a piece of metal, so I need something really sturdy for it to drill into. I don't know if this is the ammo pack or what, but I know that it goes underneath the barrel of the gun, and we're going to be creating it out of wood so that it's nice and solid. I just finished cutting the under pieces with the jigsaw. I'm not really sure what size I'm going to go with yet, so I cut out a couple of different options. But now I'm going to get these dowels cut down to size. So I was lucky enough to find this piece of remnant. It's exactly like it is in the show. It's probably pretty close to what they actually used when building the prop. It might be kind of hard for you to find at any local hardware store, but you can find them online or if you have a metal shop in your town. What I want to do is make sure this is super secure in my gun, so I'm going to drill a hole so that the barrel fits right in. So we have our basic shape of our gun, but we're going to want to trim it down so it fits better in our hand. The best way to go about this is to just sand it down. I just finished outlining my gun where I need to get things trimmed away. So I'll be using my palm sander for some of the heavy duty sanding and then switching over to my rotary tool for the more delicate details. We're about to start attaching all of our little pieces that we cut out earlier onto our sanded gun, and we are going to attach it with hot glue. But wait, before you say anything, I'm going to tell you why hot glue is probably your best choice. One, it's super rapid to dry. Two, the original gun looks like the small pieces were welded together, and hot glue allows you to mimic that same bead that welding creates. And once you cover it up with spray paint, you wouldn't know the difference. With how my balsa wood attachments have been turning out on our gun. The next thing is the original gun had screw accents, and so what I'm going to do is just screw in a couple of screws to keep it as close as possible to the original. So the next step would be our trigger guard. I really wanted something malleable to use, so I chose copper because it bends really, really easily. The next step will be gluing in our barrel. So we're pretty much done with the construction of the gun. I'm just going to take a second look at it and make sure that I'm happy with all the smaller details, and then it's going to get primered and ready for its final paint job. Looks like C-3PO's been. I just finished finished layering my spray paint with gold and copper to give it the right depth that we needed. But before I start weathering it, I'm going to start painting the handle. Basically what I'm doing here is taking some black and brown and aged gold acrylic paint and dabbing it and brushing it on in the places where the revolver is aged, and then brushing it off so that you get a dirty look. But acrylic comes off of spray paint really, really easy, so you have to be careful that you don't rub it all off either. If you're going to be handling your gun a bunch, say you cosplay with it or whatnot, you're going to want to seal your paint just because the acrylic has the tendency to come off. So what I'm going to be doing is taking clear spray paint, matte, and spraying it on the majority of the gun so it takes away the sheen and sparkle that the metallic spray paint created. And then on the handle I'll be using a glossy spray paint so that it's nice and shiny. I thought this little piece would get in the way while I was working, so I decided to put it on last, but it's just a piece of balsa wood cut out and painted with acrylic just like everything else. Shiny. Looks like I'm ready to join the brown coats. This project came out pretty rad, but I know not all of you have power tools laying around, so you could totally borrow the handle from somewhere else, but I guarantee you will love working with balsa wood. It doesn't really matter how much experience you have. It's a really awesome material, and I think you'll really enjoy working with it. We're always looking for new prop ideas, so leave a suggestion in the comments below or email us at DIYpropshop@brick.com. Look at all these cool props you guys have been making at home. It doesn't matter if you've never built anything before, just give it a go. All that matters is that you have fun and make it your own. Send us a picture and you might end up on the show. I'm Dylan Thomas, thanks for watching. See you next time. I swear by my pretty floral bonnet, I will end you.